Joe Biden's third try for the White House has been underway for only about a week now, but already he is the clear frontrunner. A new CNN poll of Democrats and liberal-leaning independents has 39% of them supporting Joe Biden. Bernie Sanders, who we assume would be the frontrunner, is a distant second tonight. He's got 15% support, and the rest of the field barely even shows up in the numbers. So, based on that poll anyway, the odds are pretty good that a year from now, Joe Biden will be the Democratic nominee. What will that mean for America? Well, right now, Biden says his motto is a little different from that of the sitting presidents. Listen.
The president has a motto, make America great again. Do you have one?
Make America moral again. Make America return to the essence of who we are, the dignity of the country, the dignity of people, treating our people with dignity.
Make America moral again. That ought to make you nervous whenever politicians, of all people, start lecturing you about morality. I'm a good person. Be like me, I'm a good person. Not like you. You should be nervous. In fact, just last week, Joe Biden, the same Joe Biden, was praising Antifa. In other words, violent lunatics in black face masks are more moral than you are. All right. So what exactly is Biden's plan to make America more moral? Silly question. He doesn't have a plan. Just last month, he was attacking due process under the law as a tool of white male supremacy. Biden's the kind of guy who will say anything if he thinks it's useful. He probably doesn't even understand half of what he says. But he's winning anyway. And that raises a very interesting question about the Democratic Party. And it's nothing to do with Joe Biden, really. If there's one thing that unites Democrats in 2019, it's attacking people for their sex and their skin color. Just today, the leading progressive philosopher Joy Behar explained that even impoverished white men are, in fact, privileged, way more privileged than Oprah, and must therefore be punished.
I think that we have a problem in the country sometimes with white guys who don't have a lot, who are struggling, and they don't see themselves as having any kind of white privilege. So that's where the conversation needs to go with people like that who don't really see that. And it is, even though you're having a hard time, you still have a privilege if you're white, even if you're poor.
So even as you're dying as a fentanyl OD, even as you're collecting disability and sitting in your trailer, you should know, according to Joy Behar, that you're privileged. White male privilege is ubiquitous. Even white men with no privilege at all have that kind of privilege. All Democrats agree with that. But here's the funny thing. It's hard to understand. Democrats keep telling pollsters that they prefer rich white men for president, the most privileged white men for president. Today it's Joe Biden. Tomorrow it could be Bernie Sanders or Beto O'Rourke or Pete Buttigieg. It's probably not ever going to be Stacey Abrams or Al Sharpton. Ever. In a million years, it will not be them. So what's going on here? Could it be that once again the left is projecting? They see white privilege everywhere, but in fact, it only really exists inside the Democratic Party. Quentin James is the founder of Collective PAC, and he joins us tonight. Mr. James, thanks a lot for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Tucker.
Will you unravel this mystery of white privilege for me? So even people dying of fentanyl ODs are privileged if they're white and male, and that's bad. But then Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Pete Buttigieg, who's like literally a Rhodes Scholar, they're the frontrunners? Like, how does this work?
Tucker, I think we're dealing with different things here. You know, we're not talking about privilege. If we look in the political system, white men have disproportionately more political power than any other group in this country.
In the Democratic Party, they do. That's for sure. Yeah.
But in like period, right, of both parties. But when it comes to the Democrats choosing a nominee, I think, one, it's really early, but Joe Biden has a clear advantage. Look, he has the most name recognition, the most experience in the field, and so right now he's leading in the polls, and I think that's going to hold for a while until you start seeing more candidates get out there and build organization. I think right now Bernie Sanders probably has the best organization of all the candidates, but when it comes to identity politics, you know, people really care about issues first and foremost.
Well, wait a second. Wait a second.
Yes, we care about equality. But it's about the issues, and I think what we're seeing right now is that Joe Biden was right there with Barack Obama.
About the issues. These guys don't disagree on any. Wait, hold on. These guys, A, they don't disagree on anything. B, Pete Buttigieg, or whatever his name is, the mayor of South Bend, Indiana, doesn't have any kind of organization. He came out of nowhere, and the party fell in love with him because he was a white man, looks like to me. I don't really see another explanation. And why isn't Stacey Abrams, who just had the last election stolen from her, according to Democrats, who went to Yale, why isn't she the front runner? I'm asking a sincere question. I mean, I believe in merit, okay? But the Democrats don't. They believe in race. So why is she not the front runner, but these rich white guys are? For real.
Tucker, one, that's ludicrous, right? Look, if Stacey wants to run, if Stacey Abrams wants to run for president, she will do so, and I think she will do really well. We have the most diverse pool of candidates we've ever had in history. We are seeing progress. We have the most diverse Congress elected last cycle. So I think we're heading in the right direction in our country. But just because Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders leading in the polls right now doesn't mean that Democrats don't value diversity. I think what we're seeing
but hold on. If they value diversity, then why are the two leading candidates elderly, rich, white men? I'm using the same standard that Democrats use all the time when they look at a picture and there are too many white people and we hate white people, they can't have that picture or whatever. They're always mad about this stuff, white privilege.
Tucker,
but why not live by their own standards? That's all I'm saying.
Joe Biden has the most name recognition and the most experience of any candidate running, period. He was right there next to who? The first black president for 8 years, right? So, again, we have the most diverse pool of candidates in history. We'll see where the primary goes over the next couple of months.
Are you bothered by it at all?
But it's also really early. I'm actually really encouraged by it, that what we're seeing in the party right now is more ideas, more candidates stepping up. And, again, for candidates of color who are running for president, we've never had this type of a pool before, folks who are viable running for president. So
okay, last question. And now I'm being sincere. I was kind of yanking your chain a little bit. But isn't it time to stop with the racism and the white privilege stuff, attacking people on the basis of their skin color? Could we just call it truce and just not talk like that anymore?
Sincerely, I wish we could, but what we've been seeing under this president is a rise in white domestic terrorism, a rise in white nationalism.
Do you have to attack white people?
No, I don't. I think it's the opposite, actually. I think what we're seeing is that people like Dylan Roof are getting more radicalized right now under our president. And so what we want to see is a unified
I wonder why. When you have The View being like, even if you're really poor, we hate you because of your skin color. You don't think that radicalizes people? Maybe a little bit? I mean, honestly?
How we message these issues, we need to get more specific and more direct. But
stop being so racist. That might help too.
We're all looking for a more unified country.
I am. Okay. Well, on that point, I agree with you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Britt Hume is Fox's senior